Greetings, I'm Steve, and I'm really glad you checked in to watch this video with us, and please stay with us. I really hope it's going to be meaningful and maybe even a moving experience for you. You know, this video is not just about admiring the stars, as stunning as these pictures are. There is meaning, I think, to what we see in the stars. The amazing beauty there, the swirling majesty, so to speak, of the galaxies, comprised of billions of stars each, including our own Milky Way, of course. But you know, we do have a unique opportunity also at this particular time in history, I think. And that is that with the advances of science and things like the Hubble telescope, they reveal a much vaster view of the spectacular universe that God has created for the wonder and appreciation of human beings. And really, many of us believe that there is much more to consider about the meaning of the universe than to simply admire what's there. That's a good start. But I think there's much more. And come on, does anyone watching really believe that such harmony and design just sort of randomly and mindlessly assembled itself? The same thing concerning, of course, the artistry and the beauty of life, right down to the level of DNA, and we'll be surveying that a little bit in the next video. But I'm guessing that many of you, though you may still be in your teens, 20s, 30s, possibly you haven't gotten life's profound questions and mysteries all figured out yet, right? So maybe you're an open seeker of the deeper truths that lie behind the things that we can see all around us. If so, then stick around in this video and the next, I hope you will, just to see what might be opened up to you. Boy, there's just a lot more out there in the universe and in the mysteries that we see around us, and most importantly in the meaning of life and in eternity. And there lies the most crucially important issue, I think, for any human being. So stay with us. We'll just jump right into it, and I hope it will be meaningful to you and also a blessing. Here we go.
It's really stunning when you think about what's out there, right? We invite you to take a moment to think it out. And hey, that might just include thinking about things a little differently from the way you have in the past. Especially if you're under 30. Chances are you run at a high rate of speed and your life is filled with things that keep you preoccupied.
Texting, gaming, WhatsApp, Snapchat. We know you're constantly running from one thing to the next. It's easy to let these things distract us from the bigger things in life. Can I encourage you to consider, again, what's out there? The galaxies, quasars, those awesome, seemingly endless star fields, and just reflect.
I want to tell a story. It's a true story. That's the best kind. The book of Genesis is tantalizing in its brevity concerning God's creation of all things. You really want to hear more if you're like me. But maybe we can imagine something like this, that God spoke the billions of huge stars into existence. You know, a master artist carefully selects paint colors and wonderfully daubs, swirls, and blends them on his canvas to finally create an utter masterpiece work of art. So perhaps did God select, place, and swirl his white and blue stars, red pulsars, quasars, dwarfs, all the myriad of other stellar varieties, into the stunning and graceful form of galaxies of all sizes, shapes, and descriptions that we see out there. And after all his miraculous creation of the universe, including all life on this unique masterpiece planet Earth, with simple brevity, the words of Genesis tell us, "And God saw all that he had made, and it was very good." I hope you're as stunned as I am by the incredible beauty out in the vastness of outer space. Our unimaginably huge universe is clearly designed. Many of us even see a carefully laid out artistry in that design and subsequent creation. Gaze sometime into the crystal clear night sky above planet Earth. Let your mind maybe get a sense of the reality of what you're really seeing out there. No analogy, of course, of the human mind comes even close. But think of this. On an ocean beach, maybe 1,000 miles long or so, you're staring intently, standing on one tiny little part of it, staring at a minute, maybe 12 or so grains of sand in your hand. That's about the equivalent of about the number of stars we can see above Earth. But just think of the number of sand grains on that lengthy beach, in the trillions and trillions, of course. Well, in comparison, there are just an incalculable number of stars, more than those sand grains, throughout the universe. Much more than scientists can even estimate. So, for now, watch and listen, because my goal is that at least some of you out there just might find out more about yourself and your destiny and the truths that you're about to experience. Testament referred poetically to the sun and the moon and the stars of all as heavenly array, all the heavenly array, he said. You know, another ancient writer, one of my favorite, King David, he clearly was impacted by what he saw up in the skies above Israel. Maybe as a boy at night, as a shepherd in the green hills of Israel, maybe he would gaze and wonder up into the star-filled heavens above him. In the Bible's beautiful epic book of Psalms, there's among many memorable passages, one in particular that I often think about when I look at the stars. David expressed his emotions this way. He said, "The heavens declare the glory of God," almost as though they're speaking to him. "The skies proclaim the work of his hands. Day after day they pour forth speech. Night after night they reveal or display knowledge." Favorite verse of mine, the earth is full of his unfailing love. By the word of the Lord the heavens were made, their starry host by the breath of his mouth. Well, you should make a choice, I think, at this point. Either you believe the Bible's account of the creation and God's revealing vital life issues to us through his words there, or you don't. We hope your decision is belief. If so, continue on this journey with us. At this point, though, I want to clarify something. You know, astrologers for millennia have placed much significance in the stars and the planets as signs of great importance. However, belief in these mystical and mythical forecasts are condemned in the Bible. There's a sad irony also that there is no acknowledgement in this cultic study of the stars of the power, the glory, the sheer wonder of the majestic Creator who is responsible for them all. So being awestruck by what you see in the stellar universe is maybe God's way of just getting your attention. But there's much more that you need to know in order to be assured of a forever home with him in his eternal heaven. But as a start to turning onto that path, listen to another quote written in the book of Romans by the Apostle Paul, not long after Christ's death and resurrection. His point is that acknowledging what God has revealed about the universe and the complexity of all life won't take you far enough. These are the rather hard-hitting words that bear directly on the issue of God's communicating to mankind through his creation, through the universe and all life. The warning is this, quote, "What may be known about God is plain because God has made it plain. For since the creation of the world, God's invisible qualities, his eternal power and divine nature have been clearly seen, being understood from what has been made, so that people are without excuse." But here's something else to consider for now. The Bible, throughout its 66 books, reveals many of the attributes of God, like His love and grace, power, mercy, patience, justice, unchangeableness being among them. But you know, His love just guides them all.